DoctorAche reviews The Mule. Short review. This movie just felt center run. Not trying to break any new ground or anything. Just meh. The drama didn't make me feel emotion really at all. And the message it has been told 100 times in many better ways. Just not great. Writing, I'm giving a 4 out of 10. It's boring, uninspired writing. Beginning, I'm giving a 4 as well. It's cliche and it's been done before. Also, it's not subtle about the message or anything. Ending, I'm giving a 5. Again, just kind of meh. You know, no huge payoff or revelation or anything like that. No groundbreaking anything. Characters, I'm giving a 6. The characters have real feelings and motivations, and really they should, considering this is a true story. Performances, I'm giving a 5. I don't know, it just seemed phoned in, or like they should have just gotten better actors, I think. I hate to say it, but I don't think Clint Eastwood should act anymore. The Hispanic actors were all great. It's just the white ones, you know, just seem kind of phoned in, you know, on average. Timing, I'm giving a 4 out of 10. It's just not really paced great either. Sound, I'm giving a 6. Everything sounded fine. You know, the vehicles, the sirens, the gunshots, they got that right. Score, 5. It's sort of run-of-the-mill. Visuals get a 6 out of 10. The blood and everything, it looks fine. Looks good. Believability is, this is a true story, so it's null and void. This movie did not make me cry. Message, I'm giving a 5. Time is something you can't buy, and family is more important than your work/career. Don't waste your time away from your family. That's the message. Now, it's a good message, but it's one that's been told many times before, and in much better ways. And this movie's not very subtle about telling you the message. It's kind of right on the face. It's like abrupt almost. This movie had no impact for me, like none. Production value, I'm giving a 7 out of 10. The movie didn't feel cheap at all. You know, maybe Clint Eastwood should have left the starring and maybe even the directing role to someone else, but the movie definitely didn't feel cheap. Overall enjoyability, I'm giving it a 5. Just meh, you know? Rewatchability/recommendability, a 2. There's nothing here that is new or done better, and nothing here to brag about or to bring me back. So it gets a 2, unfortunately. Pros and cons. Pros and cons. Alright, pros. I do like that at first Clint Eastwood is doing it, you know, the drug mule thing, for all the right reasons. I do like that he's doing it, you know, to pay for his granddaughter's education and to help out a veterans bar that got burned down that's not going to be collecting its insurance money. And, you know, little things like that. Also, I like the parallels between the Clint Eastwood character joining the cartel and that one dude from the cartel who's working for the DEA. I liked the parallels that they sort of created for this. I thought that it was pretty cool. Alright, now for cons. Not very inspired or original. Clint Eastwood just looks really old in this movie, which sucks because I really like Clint Eastwood. I hope nobody thinks that I am like hating on Clint Eastwood. I really like him. Gran Torino is one of my favorite movies, one of my favorite of his recent movies. Just, I really liked it, and it sucks that I think he might not have it anymore. I think he might have to call it This movie, another con is it's not too unique, original, or emotional. Another con is the first couple times he did the drug running, the second he got in his car in the parking lot of the hotel and he had his money, he's freaking looking at the money while he's in the freaking parking lot. What if you were being watched? Don't just take that money out and look at it then and there. Like, he needs to stop doing that. And after a while, it seems like he's sort of getting greedy with it. Like, okay, his granddaughter's wedding was paid for, and he helped out the veterans bar, and you know, he did stuff like that. And after a while, I don't know what he was really doing with the money. Like, he had a lot of money coming in, and other than those two things and buying his truck, I don't know what he did with it. Oh, and obviously buying his house back from foreclosure. But yeah, I don't know. Another thing is the family that he stopped to help change the tire, they literally had nothing in their trunk. How is that possible to have nothing in your trunk, especially if you have a baby? Like, you gotta have diapers, you gotta have extra clothes, your luggage. Like, I think they were driving through the desert. What was all their luggage in the back seat with the car seat? Like, I doubt it. I mean, it's a little nitpick. It's something you probably won't even notice when you're watching, but it's just a little off to me. It's a little weird. It seems like they bought the car for the movie, or like they were leasing it or renting it or something. And they just didn't bother putting any props in it. Another thing is when he gets invited to the mansion, the boss's mansion, where he wants to thank him, and there's all those young girls dancing, and you know, they're all sexy and all that. The camera spends way too much time looking at these girls dancing. Like, it feels weird. Like, it's uncomfortable almost. Like, it just sort of is like focused in on this girl's butt for like fucking 3 minutes. It's crazy. And like, don't get me wrong, I like looking at a pretty girl, but the way that the movie did it, it just seemed weird and uncomfortable. And especially, you know, again, no offense to Clint Eastwood, but he was the director, so. And there's that scene where he had basically has a three-way with two other young girls. It just, I don't know, it just seemed a little weird. Another con is when the DEA pulled over that one dude who freaks out, and he's you know, afraid he's gonna get killed, and you know, the whole because of his race and all that. I didn't really like it. It seemed over the top. It seemed kind of, it just was abrasive and unrealistic and just weird. It might have been, they might have been trying to go for laughs, but I didn't laugh, and nobody else in the theater laughed. It was just kind of off. And also, they like searched his vehicle without asking his consent. Like, he totally would have given it. Like, he totally would have. But they didn't ask for his consent, yet they checked his vehicle anyway. And they're like, okay, it's not here. You have a nice day, sir. Like, it's just not how that would have actually gone down. Another con is his granddaughter, Clint Eastwood's granddaughter in the movie, turns on him really, really quickly. Like, this whole movie, she's been defending him, and he's been around, and he's been, you know, making amends, and, you know, doing all these things. And then the second that he tells her no, she just flips on him. She's like, oh my god, the family's right, you're a piece of shit, you know, all this other, like, and you're, whoa, where did that come from? Like, maybe if she had delivered her lines a little better, it would have been more realistic and more believable, but it just felt like it was sort of manufactured so that Clint Eastwood would get off that run and go be with his dying ex-wife. Like, I don't know. It just didn't seem, it just didn't seem convincing. All the emotional stuff in this movie just didn't resonate with me, like at all. And this movie also just felt really long. It felt like a long movie, and I don't think it was that long. It just felt really long. Alright, that's it for my pros and cons. Final thoughts. This movie just felt mundane. I think Eastwood didn't... I think if Clint Eastwood hadn't starred in it, it might have been better. And if the casting or just the performance coach just did their job a little bit, it could have been better. And maybe even if Eastwood wasn't directing. I don't know. The performances should have been much better, and if they were better, it would have made the movie a lot better. The performances weren't awful. They just didn't... They weren't enough. I don't recommend you watch this. I mean, you can watch it if it's just sort of there, but it's not one of those movies you should put on your list, if you know what I mean. The pacing's bad, the acting isn't good enough, and the movie overall is just not great. Rating gets a 5 out of 10 for me. This concludes my review of The Mule. If you'd like to see more videos by me, click the thingies. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Feel free to share this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!